Realtors, are you tired of posting week after week and not getting any views on your channel? You're saying, what the heck is wrong with my channel? Why can I not grow? Well, today I'm going to show you how to compete with the biggest real estate channels in the entire world. And we're going to show you exactly how you can get more views, get more leads, and be on pace to be the biggest channel in your market. My name is Clay, and my business partner Dylan and I work with some of the fastest growing channels in their market. We're going to give you a few tips on why you're probably not getting views, how you can actually get more leads, and be on pace to be the biggest channel in your market. So let's go ahead and top right in. Now, when it comes to competing with the top channels, there's really one reason that you can't get views. And I see this so often with agents, especially when they first get started. One of the first things they do, I see agents making money and they're like, wow, I need to be on YouTube. They pick up a camera, record some videos, and they find out it's pretty hard to actually grow a channel. And so the next thing they do is they go out and they typically purchase some kind of program, whether it's a course or a blueprint, which is totally fine. But a lot of times what happens is they end up just turning into someone who copies and pastes this blueprint. You know, a realtor comes in, they take this course, the course tells them to do X, Y, and Z, make these 20 videos or these 30 videos. They come in, you copy all those videos, you post them on YouTube, right? But over time, the issue with this is that there are so many videos being produced in the same market and they're all targeting the same leads. So you're making the same videos over and over, another agent's making the same videos over and over, and you guys are now competing for the lead without having anything different from the other agent, right? There's nothing that really sets you apart. And just to prove my point, I want to give you an example here of a channel over in Denver, Colorado. You can see here that he was posting about once a week, which is pretty standard, doing a lot of videos and just really struggling to get views. I mean, you can see here that 100 views, 200 views, 60 views, 23 views, and he's been posting very consistently. And then he ended up giving up. The channel's not growing exactly for this reason. It's copy paste. I'm gonna show you another example right here. You'll see in the exact same market, they were doing the same thing by the same company, right? You can see here the same thumbnail style, the same concepts. They ended up stopping and trying to do it on their own as well. What I want you to see here is that you cannot succeed in a market when you're just copy and pasting. They're pretty much competing against each other with the same content. And so what happens is those leads are like, okay, I don't really know what to do here because there's two people making the same stuff. And if someone comes in and is making something different or better, I mean, who do you think the lead's going to reach out to? So just, you know, kind of use your common sense there. But I'd say if you look at these two channels, this one as well ends up falling off 3 months, honestly, around the same time, 3 months ago, they both posted their last video. And I'm guessing they kind of got burnt out there for making all the content. So again, what you'll see here is this is not just in one market. That's just one example. I could pull, like I said, pull up a ton of examples, but this is what's happening in pretty much every market across the US. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, it goes on and on. So when you look at all these channels who are doing the exact same thing, you could quickly see how it gets harder and harder to compete in these markets, especially when they're getting so saturated with the same content, targeting the same lead. And the reality is there's only so many leads to go around. Really, the top channels are making 60, 70% of, you know, all the money. They're the ones that are making all the money. So the question is, how can we compete? And I'm going to show you exactly how we can do that. If you look across the US, really it's going to come down to 3 main categories every market falls under. First category that we're going to go through is being first. I would say 90% of the markets are not going to be in this category, but I do want to just show you what this means and why you look at YouTube and see some of these really big channels today. And it's because they were first. So you look at Living in Dallas, very popular channel. We look at Oldest. He's been making content for the last 3 years, right? He was on YouTube 3 years ago when there was no competition, when there was maybe him and another channel. And the game has changed over the last 2 years. Now it's not the same. If you go look at Dallas, you'll see 60, 70 plus. I mean, it's probably one of the most competitive markets out there. And so if you come in and try to start a channel, well, what worked for him is not going to work for you because he was first. And now that option is no longer there for you. And if we look at another channel over here in Tampa, same thing. Look at Oldest. He's been on YouTube for 3 years. Look at these views, like first videos he's posting. You know, he could have unlisted some, but you know, first videos going out, getting all these massive views consistently and just doing a great job, right? And it's because he was first. Another channel, I just pulled up a random city. Milwaukee. He's been on YouTube for 4 years and he's got about 5,000 subscribers. And his content in the beginning wasn't even that good, right? It wasn't good. Over time, it started doing better and better because He was first. There was no one in that market competing with him. So if you find yourself in one of those markets where, no one is posting content, you have the ability to be first, you need to go. You need to move fast because you're in one of those special markets. But again, 90% of markets already have either someone pretty big in it or a few channels that are doing decently well. So that leads us to the second category, which is where most agents are going to find themselves in, which is being better. If you're in a market where there are people that have already been first, we have to ask ourselves the question, can we be better? And there's so many things that we can be better on. But let me just give you an example of a channel that we started building and partnering with over in Las Vegas. We are now the fastest growing channel in Las Vegas. We're absolutely crushing. And this market is super saturated as well. So how did we do it? Well, we were just better than everybody else. We've got videos that have 10,000 views, 30,000 views a month ago, 3 months ago. This is very consistent. We're putting out some of the best content in this market, and it's why we're crushing every agent so hard. But if we look here, we made the decision to look and analyze the market, which you should do if you're in your market and get an understanding of what's going on. But we look and we saw this channel right here, Las Vegas Gal, who is the biggest channel in Las Vegas for the market we're trying to compete in. And she's got 22,000 subscribers. A lot of people would look at that and be very scared. But if we actually look at her videos, her thumbnails aren't great. She doesn't have the best editing. Her titling and packaging could be a lot better. You might see some really impressive views here, which make, they look impressive, but I still think we could do better. So that's why we're one of the fastest growing. We were able to actually compete and make some better content. So the question is, how can we be better? I think this is where most agents are going to struggle, is saying, yeah, I know that I can be better. I can put more money in. I can do this. I can do that. But let's talk about the specifics on what different things you can actually be better on, because that's what's going to give you a competitive edge. And that's really where you're going to be able to compete. For this example, what I want to use is a very common video that most people make. And this is a video that most people just, whenever they start in a market, they're going to be told to make, they're going to, see other agents make it, so they're going to want to make it. And so they're trying to do the same stuff, which is technically correct. But if you're making the same stuff, again, we always have to ask the question, can we make it better? So very quickly, we saw that there was a pros and cons video that was doing pretty well. And we've seen this across multiple markets, right? This isn't something that's just specific to Las Vegas. We had to go and say, okay, can we make our thumbnail better? We quickly answered yes. So first of all, our thumbnail is better, right? And then on that same video, we wanted to ask, can we make our editing better? So let's go ahead and look at the editing here. You can see here, she's sitting, she's got some, text up here, the fonts aren't the best. There's really not much going on. Overall, I would say the editing isn't really that crazy. And if you come and look at our video, you can see here we've got motion graphics, we've got a really professional studio, showing locations. Yeah, so like overall, I would say we did deliver on a better editing so that the viewer experience is better. And then it comes to scripting. Can we actually script a better video, have a better hook, intro, talking points, outro, call to actions, all that good stuff? And I don't have the actual document here. I wish I had pulled it up, but I put some screenshots here of our scripting. And this is the entire video that we did where we have references. We have videos that we are pulling different things from. And so if you have planning like this on the scripting, then the actual deliverance on the video is also going to be a lot better. What about call to actions? Her actually getting business so that she can maintain her channel and actually grow her channel and keep reinvesting back into the channel. Well, if you look here at our call to action, we have a very clear, straight to the point call to action where people know exactly what to do to reach out to us. Whereas on her channel, it's at the very end. It's super small. It's filled with other stuff. It's got a subscribe button under it. It's got her face on the right. It's her shaking someone's hand. It's got another video on the left. There's a lot of things going on, and it distracts the actual viewer from being able to reach out. And that happens a lot with agents, right? They fill their description with, call me, text me, email me, click on my Zoom link, get my relocation guide, visit my website. They do that on the video as well, and they mention those things, but we want to be very clear with our call to action. So straightforward with the call to action, which means we're going to get more reach outs. Then we've got information and video length. You can see here her video was 7 minutes, our video was 16 minutes. So we delivered on a better and more informative video. So that's another way that you can be better than the competition. And then lastly, we've got strategy, right? So if you look at strategy, you can just see here, overall, as we consistently do this in all the categories, we're being better in thumbnail, editing, title, call to actions, scripting, information, length of video, and strategy. We are continuously building up a massive bank of really, really good videos. If we look at her channel, we can see a big difference. It's all over the place, different thumbnails. There's not really a clear point. point. There's a chef here on this one. There's her here, right here, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of noise. And so she doesn't have a clear strategy to actually be better in the market. But even being better isn't going to last forever, right? These agents are getting smarter. They're reinvesting back into their channel. They're upgrading the thumbnails, the editing, right? They're putting stuff back into their channel. And so again, most markets are going to be in that situation where just being better is okay. So again, look at your market and make the decision, look at the top people in there and see if that will help you. So that actually leads us into the third category, which is being different. Now, if you're in your market and you don't have the option to be new, you don't think you can get away with being better, there's already so many channels that are just crushing it and they're just doing so well, you might want to look at being different. We've already started testing being different. We've already created some awesome concepts that other people are not doing or putting them in different ways. For example, we interviewed locals. We did the living in strategy, but we did it in a different format where we're actually interviewing locals. Or how about I left the Las Vegas Strip? Not really a lot of people were making that kind of concept. People are talking about why the Las Vegas Strip is awesome, blah, 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 Las Vegas Strip. And we actually flipped it. She was leaving and we turned it into a really cool concept. Or how about a day in the life of living in Summerlin, Las Vegas? We're still targeting the living in type of audience where people are moving, but we did it in kind of a day in the life type of series, which is a fresh new content that the market's craving while everyone else is doing a vlog. And we're doing still a vlog to a degree, but we're marketing it and positioning it in a different way. So that's where you can be different, is by taking some of the same concepts or general ideas and doing something very different. But how does that apply to you? Well, let's look at some different options of what being different looks like. So if we go to a gentleman over in Las Vegas as well, since we're on the same market, you can see here he is still competing in this market with some of those same copy and paste style thumbnails that a lot of people that I showed you at the beginning. You can see here that he's actually doing well. And the reason he's doing well is because he's not focused on the same audience as everybody else. He's focused on the 5 over 55, section 10, right? He's got a lot of these videos where he's targeting an older demographic. He's an older gentleman. And so it aligns with his audience. And he's also cut out a different piece of the relocation or moving audience and just focused and niche down into one demographic. It's a very good way for you not to get drowned out by everybody else. So if you're finding yourself where you're doing the same thing as everyone else, it's not working and you can't be better, well, maybe it's being different, right? Maybe it's going down and figuring out what audience is best for you. Maybe it's an age, maybe it's a price point, maybe it's a property type, maybe it's a specific location that you can niche down into even further. Even in Las Vegas here, again, we've got a lady here who focuses on condos, right? She does luxury high-end condos where she is still competing. So she's doing a similar strategy, but doing it for a completely different audience. And so that's one way that she can compete. If other channels try to come in and compete with us and our channel that we have right now in Las Vegas, it's going to be very hard for them. So they're going to have to figure out how to do something different. And these channels are great examples of that. So keep in mind, you will be sectioning yourself off from, a bigger pool of business, but it's a great way for you to start, get your foot in, and then you can expand from there. Now, there's a second version of being different. A lot of people think the living in strategy is the only thing that you can do, but there's lots of different strategies. The truth is you can win on YouTube with so many different things. We've seen channels from all over the place not doing the living in strategy. I'm going to show you a couple of those as well so that you also know there are some different channels that you can start too and different strategies you can use. So one that's very popular that you might have heard of is the property strategy. So if you look here at Brad McCallum up in Calgary, you can see here that he is crushing it with a property strategy, and he's also doing it better than a lot of people in the market, right? He's got super high-end videographers, editing, thumbnail designs. So he's doing a really, really good job here. And we've actually done that with one of our agents over in Breckenridge, Colorado. You can see here, if you look at some of his videos, got some really awesome property tours. It's a great way to connect with sellers. Keep in mind, a lot of the sellers are not going to come just from YouTube. You're going to have to learn how to leverage these types of videos, whether it's at an appointment, whether it's sending it out to your database, showing it on things like other social media platforms. Or how about the referral strategy? We have a private Facebook group. One of our agents actually messaged me asking me about this channel right here, asking me how she's getting so many views. And it's because she's using the referral strategy. And the referral strategy is simply just going in and focusing on really big topics, not niching down. Where you might focus on the 5 best places to live in Dallas, Texas, she might make a video about 5 best places to live in the US, right? It's just really, really big targeting, and she's not really focused on one specific area. So she's able to get some really big views because her audience is a lot bigger. But the downside to that is it's really difficult to get local business. And I've actually texted her personally, and she mentioned that she was struggling to get local business, but they were doing a lot of referrals. So there's a lot of different ways. And it's not just her. There's a channel here called Real Estate Steph. If you go through and look at his stuff as well, you can see that. Now he's focusing on a state as a whole. So never buy these Texas homes, the Texas housing market, how to spot an overpriced home. So they're, again, really big topics. Now the reason I'm showing all this to you is because the truth is there's so many different ways to win on YouTube, right? Whether it's being first in your market, whether it's being better in your market, whether it's being different and showing similar concepts in a different way, or maybe it's like just a completely different strategy altogether. And so to compete, you can do any one of these things, but you need the fundamentals. If you don't have the fundamentals, you won't be able to know what your market looks like. You won't be able to make decisions that are going to help build your channel if you're just copying some type of blueprint. With that being said, if you are an agent and you're looking to partner, we'd love to help you build and grow your channel. That's what we're here for. So if you click the link below, book in a call, you'll talk to me and my business partner, Dylan. We'd love to chat with you. And if you're not ready to book in a call, we completely understand. If you want to keep learning more about YouTube, just click right here, and I'll see you in the next one.